will find you, and if you have a mental illness, we will put you down.
Now, this is not funny. As somebody that suffers from auditory hallucinations or government experimentation, whatever floats your boat, I have had instances where I was surrounded by police officers and the voices in my head were saying, fight the cops, grab the gun, fight the cops, trying to get me shot and murdered. All right. So this is not a joke. I know homeless people and schizophrenics that I've met in rehab, and when this one guy at rehab, he told me one day he got his ass beat. He got jumped by 5 people, and he went to a cop, and he was all busted up, bleeding, and the cop just told him to get the fuck out of there. You know what I mean? So there definitely seems to be, like, depending on the region and the area, there seems to be like, that was down in a bad area, but it is sad how, like, when you are struggling and you are homeless in some areas, I mean, I don't know where he lived, but I didn't have to put up with that when I had a problem. They weren't like dicks to me when I was homeless. They just told me not to be there. We don't want to get calls all day and this and that, and I had to adapt to survive. But it is what it is. But I have had them instances where I'm surrounded by police officers or police officials, or I've been in ambulances being followed, and I pointed out that we were being followed, and the car that was following us actually swerved at the ambulance. And then weird, at the hospital, they actually wheeled me out into the lobby, so there were people in the lobby that could actually talk shit about me as part of my group harassment and group hazing. So it was weird. It was the last time I was in Newport. I went to the hospital. The ambulance driver actually purposely stabbed the IV through the other side of my vein so the fluids would miss my vein. And he felt bad and he took it out. And then when I got to the hospital, even the nurse was fucking with me like, his blood ain't normal yet. You know what I mean? So I was pretty much harassed by this entire fucking town all the way up until a certain point. And that's just sad, ungodly. You know what I mean? Sometimes it makes me feel like there are no souls out here that are good. Interesting enough, the tail car that was following me from the cemetery was actually driving a car that looked like my main attacker's wife's car. All right. It was a silver Kia Soul. And when I looked out and seen them both leave the cemetery and they were following the ambulance, looked at the ambulance driver. I'm like, look, we got a tail. And as soon as I said that, the Kia tried to swerve at the fucking ambulance driver because they were hacking my phone and listening to me 24/7. And that's what they did. Even before they followed us, they went up to the ambulance drivers and talked to them and told them a bunch of shit before we even left in order to get me smoked, waxed, whatever it was. I don't know what the story was. I don't care what the stories are, But all them people go fuck themselves because the truth's out there now. And everybody knows the truth. Everybody knows this was all orchestrated. It was staged. The original people that orchestrated it were just trying to wax me. That's all it was, to cover up some shit they did in 2015.